Okay, we're going to do our daily sketch number 11. Apparently this is a bunch of Pokemon a student picked, so we're going to just do one. And the one on the far right, I guess, is like a turtle head. They told me his name's Charizard, so we're going to go with Charizard. Okay, so I'm going to start with a basic circle, but maybe like a third of the way down or lower, we've got this shape that's almost like a heart shape. Boys, we're recording, so thank you. Okay, so we've got visitors coming through the door. I'm just reminding them that we're recording. Okay, the shape of the head, it's rounded more than I just drew. Okay, and then what I did is just kind of like, I don't know, it's like an oval shape that you almost triangle it on the bottom for the shape of the mouth. So I'm going to go ahead and erase those guidelines. I'm really going to pay attention. See how this cheek jets out? It doesn't go straight, but it angles down. And then I don't have a sharp like point of the chin, it just comes about here. And I seem, when I look at that now, I jetted out too much to the side, so I'm going to fix that. And then this comes in. If I do that incorrect, all of a sudden this Charizard has a chubby face. Now I'm going to come down straight from here, that's where the neck ends. This seems to come in a little bit more. Make sure that neck's not too thick. I look at this space in between where I stop the chin line or the jawline and the neck. Okay, and sometimes animated tends to be a little bit harder just because everybody knows what it looks like, and so if you draw it incorrect, you can't really tell. I'm going to angle this just a little bit. This is a guideline for the eyes. So this eye, you want to look where it starts and where it stops. This one's coming off to the side of the head because I'm looking at this Charizard from an angle. And then this one's clear over here, but you look at the distance between the back of the head and this eye where it starts, and it should be the same height over here. And once I get that shape, and I'm happy, and I really look at the distance in between the two eyes, and that's correct, then I'm going to go ahead and clean up any lines. I'm going to look at that shape of that face again. I still feel like I'm a little too rounded here, so I'm going to sharpen this up. Okay, and then I look at where the mouth starts. So this curves, it comes down, and the mouth really just starts about here. And it's going to almost triangle, and I really want to see where that point comes from. And if I draw a line up, it's just outside of the eye that line would meet that. If I drew that up, then it would meet just outside of the eye, not on the eye. And this, the side of the mouth curves, and it just ends outside of that eye. And then the bottom of the mouth is just barely up from the chin, and it actually comes, usually if this point's right here, the bottom would curve, but theirs is off to the side. And then it doesn't touch this top line over here. You have a little bit of a space. Those little details will help you get your guy more accurate. Okay. And I feel good about that, so I'm going to clean up my lines. The nostrils are off. See how this point's here? You would think that they would come up from that mouth, but they're actually off to the side. So I just curve up those about here. We've got little pointy teeth, just nice little triangles. These teeth are actually, this sets over here a little bit more. I'm going to adjust that. Okay, now we're going to go in and draw the pupils, big animated ovals here, and don't forget this big circle for your highlight, a little eyebrow. Adjust these lines. And this one, you really just see the whites on the bottom. I'm just going to step back and look, and now I'm just going to adjust, thicken up the outside lines really nice and thick. It's good to go back and clean those up once you draw those dark lines. And I find on these daily sketches, you guys, when you draw them too small, it's a little bit harder to get the proportion right. So it's nice to draw it, I don't know, I would always say at least the size of your palm or bigger, because otherwise you're just fighting that proportion.